yes, we are to have church discipline.
Yes.
The problem with it, though, I'm talking about from the person, not from the church.
Yeah.
From the person. I don't care. I'm just going to go to another church.
Well, that's our problem.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. But that is the problem with it. Back then, they only had one church in any given town. I mean, this is the church that meets in Laodicea, or this is the church that meets in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and there was one church in town. If you got excommunicated, that was a serious thing. Yeah. Today, it's not serious to people. I'm not talking about to the church, because if we have something in this church that isn't right, we need to discipline them. If we know that they are violating the Bible, and it's something that they are not willing to discuss, in an adult manner, we're to follow what the Lord says and take them out of the church.
That's what love does.
Well, yeah, it should.
That's what love does.
Right.
No, today the church has the idea that enabling is
Oh, that's
love.
right. Well, a lot of churches, not all churches, but you're right. That's kind of a generality. But as far as grace as opposed to the other 15 churches on Bee Ridge Road, all I can say is that if they want to go to church, they are going to go to church. We got cars and we can go down to Venice. We can go up to Tampa. I mean, that is the problem. I'm not saying it's the problem with the church. I'm saying it's a problem with the individual. So what? What are you going to do? I'll go over to Hope. It's right down the road. So anyway.
That's not our problem.
No, that's not. We need to do what we need to do. So yeah, I wasn't trying to make that point. I was trying to make the point that it's a problem with the people. With the people. Have a nice day, Lil. Go get some rest. All righty. Okay, please go ahead. I know we spent a lot of time just kind of gabbing today, but it makes it fun. Yes.
The minister said to me one time in a conversation about this thing about living together and you're not married, They made the remark that, in some circumstances, he went ahead and said it's okay because of the financial situation.
Yeah, right.
And this was a minister.
Yep. Did you leave that church?
Huh?
Did you leave that church? Yeah,
Yes, I did.
You have to wonder what people are thinking when, and now, in all honesty, we've got houses, unlike in the past, we got houses with 15 bedrooms, and if somebody says, I'm not having any affair with this person, they're renting a room, I mean, at what point do we say, something is obvious and something isn't? And things need to be looked at carefully because, it really becomes a problem, especially in a big society like I say, people rent out sublet rooms. I got a friend that sublets rooms in the place he lives in because it saves him money. Whether it's a guy or a girl is irrelevant. He's not Christian anyway. But you see what I'm saying is we have no idea what's going on there. So it's just a complicated world we live in. But if we know something is wrong, we are to take the action that's appropriate.
Most of the time, people readily admit it.
Oh, well, that's right.
Figure it out. They'll tell you right to your face.
That's right. That's exactly. And if they do that, then it makes it obvious. It makes it clear. But you get people that are doing things in secret all the time, and you find out after they die. Or what about Arnold Schwarzenegger just a couple weeks ago? Not that he's a church figure. That's not what I'm getting at. But how long did that go on before it was revealed? And he actually is the one that told her. It could have gone on forever maybe without her ever knowing. And here he's the governor of...
Did she not know?
Who knows?
There's so many have come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I have no idea, but she did leave him. So the chances are that she didn't know. I mean, if she's...
It was fairly prevalent in the family, so
Very much so.
known and not cared.
Yeah, I have no idea, but that I don't know. That's speculation. But I got to tell you what. I mean, here everybody looked at Arnold like he was, the great father and the great family, and here he's, he is a great father, I guess.
He's a prolific father.
Prolific. That's prolific. Yeah. Oh, unbelievable. Okay, so please go ahead. We're in. Where are we? We've done this, viewed this thing. Okay, so verse 12, that's where we are.
From 10 to 12, okay.
Yep.
12, yeah.
Besides, she really is my sister, the daughter of my father, though not of my mother, and she became my wife. And when God had me wander from my father's household, I said to her, this is how you can show your love to me. Everywhere we go, say of me, he is my brother.
Good job, Abraham. Takes care of all the problems in the world.
Great.
Here's a couple more ox and donkey for you. Okay, go ahead, 14.
Then Abimelech brought sheep and cattle and male and female slaves and gave them to Abraham.
Wow. Oh, man.
And he returned Sarah his wife to him. And Abimelech said, my land is before you. Live wherever you like.
Okay, so, he brought him oxen and male, and it's probably as a peace offering. As I said before, I don't want to say that Abraham did this intentionally. That wasn't what I was trying to say. It may have come out that way, but he did benefit from the king of Egypt, and he's benefiting again here. What Abraham was thinking is totally irrelevant, because I don't know, but you can speculate whatever you want that here he got more oxen and donkeys. He's become wealthier off of it, and Sarah, she's just like, probably scratching her head. I don't know. What? No, not at all. Not at all. I don't want to give that impression.
I'm thinking MTV needs to do a whole special on
on the life and times of Abraham. Oh, yeah. I don't want to imply that at all. It's just, you read these things, and I can't read, especially the book of Genesis, and not come up with all kinds of crazy thoughts every time I read it. Just because of all of the things that go on that are so, and it's so different than the way we live. Although maybe it's not, maybe.
the way we live openly.
not.
Yeah, the way we live openly.
We don't write about it so much.
Man.
Some people do.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Have no shame.
No shame at all. That's, oh boy. Okay, so he's offered him to live wherever he pleases, and I would assume that comes with the guarantee that he is going to be protected. He's going to be, taken care of. Don't let anybody touch us anywhere in my land. Don't leave Abraham alone. Okay, so please, 16.
To Sarah he said, I am giving your brother 1,000 shekels of silver. This is to cover the offense against you before all who are with you. You are completely vindicated.
Okay, so he says, I'm giving to your brother. Yeah, you caught on to that too,
That's how he said it too. He's giving your brother.
Yeah, he's got ox, he's got donkeys and sheep or whatever, and he's also got 1,000 pieces of silver. So there you go, pretty choice. Hey, how's it going there?
I'm telling you,
Oh, wonderful.
it pays.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but only in this life maybe, but in the end we're all going to get judged for him. So, and thus she was rebuked. Okay, so whatever. Yeah. Yeah, we got some donuts there. Okay, so please, 17.
Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his slave girls, so they could have children again. For the Lord had closed up every womb in Abimelech's household because of Abraham's wife Sarah.
Okay, so as you see, just as Job prayed for those three guys, Abraham prayed for these three. And, how long he was living there, how long this went on, you would assume that it was a couple months because they're not having children. I mean, I read that, and you got to figure now, the promise was made to Abraham that he would have a child at this time in the next year. That's 12 months. And so, they're going to have a child. So all of this happened within that time frame. I'm assuming that this is chronological and we haven't missed anything and nothing is put in a different order for a reason that we don't know. And if that is the case, then, how they knew their wombs were closed up, I have no idea. But
Do you think they knew?
it could be, or it could be that they didn't know and the Lord just, included this in here because he had taken that action. But it seems like, do you see what I'm saying? It seems like such a short time for that to be inserted in there.
Yeah.
So you don't get pregnant for a couple months. I know people that don't get pregnant for 3-4 years and finally they have a child. So,
Might be a reinforcement again of him saying that Abraham's lineage is Abraham's lineage.
well, that's right.
The wombs were closed.
All the wombs were closed. Once again, the good point is that it's just proving that Isaac is really Abraham's son, because this did happen during that time frame. So that's a real good point there. Okay, 21, please.
Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah, as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised.
Of course.
Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised him.
Okay, so it's, God is ever faithful. He makes a promise and it's going to happen. Now, unfortunately, Abraham thought that promise, are you leaving? All right, love you. Have a nice time.
Take a donut, Mom.
You want a donut?
Oh, Dave.
Maybe your boyfriend wants one. Take one for him. Okay, see you later. I have no idea why. She's got somewhere to go every week, and she never tells me where. It's not a boyfriend, I know that. but she just won't tell me what it is, so I have no idea. But anyway, and I just lost my place. Oh, there we are. Okay. So the son is coming. God is ever faithful. And verse 3, please.
Abraham gave the name Isaac to the son Sarah bore him.
Okay, Isaac, anybody? You know what that means? Yitzhak? It means laughter. Or he laughs. That's right. Okay. Then 4.
When his son Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him as God commanded him.
Right.
Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him.
Okay, that means that Sarah was 90, 10 years younger. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah said, God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me.
Okay, so you got the laughter when the promise was made. You got the laughter now. I mean, Isaac is just bringing a lot of laughter to the family. That's it.
Joy.
And she added, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age.
She couldn't have looked like we think a 90-year-old.
No, she.
Not to attract all these men.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Well, she was probably like I said, we have a few in the world today. I got to tell you, every time I see Raquel Welch, I cannot believe that she is the same person that was in Barbarossa, or was that the movie? A Million Barbarella, yeah.
That was Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda. The movie I'm thinking of is A Million Years BC.
BC.
Yeah, I mean, she looks almost the same now as she did back then. There are.
Surgeons do wonders.
Well, I'm sure of that. I'm sure plastic surgery, but I got to tell you what, there are certain curves in her body that are still pretty nice, and I don't know if that's plastic surgery or if that's like those injections or what, but she's astonishingly good looking for 78 or something. I mean, she's ancient. No offense to anybody that's. But I mean for how she looks. That's what I meant. Yeah. And then the other one, like I said, I saw a picture of Sophia Loren a couple days ago, and her face is a little bit, compared to, grumpy old men. She does look older in her face, but her body looked. I just couldn't believe. I thought, how can somebody be that age and So I think you're right that Sarah was probably she was a jewel from young all the way to old age. And having said that, one thing that I always loved to do is to look at the girls that were in school that were so good looking, and they're all ugly now. And the girls that were, not all of them, but, and then you get the girls in school that were just, nobody wanted to talk to them, and they're like, they could be fashion models. And you see how the Lord gives everybody something at a certain time of their life. Absolutely. So it just, and you know what? I look at the guys in school. It's not just girls. You look at the guys in school and the jocks that were just, and now they're all bald and fat. And, then you get the guys that were just, I don't want to give his name, but in Dallas. And he was a total nerd. He's the guy, literally, that they used to stuff in the lockers. He literally. And a friend of mine, a guy we went to school with. And they used to stuff him in the lockers, and now he's a very nice guy. He's a Christian, but he just is witty. Everybody loves him. Everybody in the school thinks he's just a number one. But back in school, people were shoving him in the lockers and locking him. He was big, dorky glasses, and you know who I'm talking about, right? Okay.
And he's surrounded by
beautiful girls all the time. He's not married, and he never has any relationships with them because the years in school affected him. I honestly think that, where he does not know how to approach a girl. So he approaches them as like the friend. And so, the people in the movies are always the best friend of the girls but never get married. Poor guy. I mean, he wants to have somebody to have a relationship with, and it's just never worked out, ever. But all of the girls love him. You never see him like the life of the party. And he's got these cool glasses on. But what a sweet, sweet, gentle guy. He really is. But you look at the differences and how the Lord has made us. And the people that thought they were going to be great turned out to be doofuses. The doofuses turned out to be pretty normal people. And I just love it. But in the what? That's right. And ultimately, regardless of what your station was like in school or whether it was this way now and you're on top of the world, it's the people that have called on Jesus that are ultimately going to have the best run of it. So, you know, I mean, that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter if we were ever in, you know, because I was never the cool guy in school, and I'm not the cool guy now. I'm just a guy that, you know, I did my thing, and people knew me, and I knew them. But I'm saved. I'm a son of the King.